Adho Mukha Svanasana, or downward facing dog. Start on your hands and knees and take your wrists directly underneath your shoulders, aligning your middle fingers so that they're parallel to one another and your hands are shoulder distance apart. And then walk your knees slightly back so they're underneath your sitting bones. Curl your toes under, take a deep inhalation, look up, and then as you exhale, straighten your legs, lift your hips, and press your arms straight and back, allowing your head to come down last. Bring your awareness to your hands and press through the lowest knuckle of your index finger, the lowest knuckle of your thumb, and the lowest point on your palm, where your palm meets your wrist, and see if you can bring the pressure of the pose there, the foundation or stability of the pose, to that inner triad of your hands, making your outer wrists light. Press through your arms, all the way up to your waist. And then turn your awareness to your feet. You can see your feet perfectly. Balance the weight in your feet, pressing the mounds of your big toes, mounds of your little toes, inner and outer heel evenly. And reach down through your inner heels, starting all the way up in your inner groins. Reach from your inner groins through your inner knees, pressing all the way out through your inner heels to create an evenness of the outer and inner leg. Take your navel towards your spine and press through your arms any amount. Let your head hang so there's no tension in your neck, no tension in your face, and the breath moves slow, smooth, and even through your nose. Breathe. Now slowly walk your feet forward towards your hands. Bring your hands to your waist, come all the way up. Join your feet. Take your hands down by your sides and stand in Tadasana. Uttita Trikonasana. So you're going to want to take a block for this pose and place it on the right side of your mat on the high setting. And then walk your feet apart 4 to 4.5 feet with your hands on your waist. Turn your left toes in and your right toes out and spin your entire right leg out. And then take your arms up straight out of your shoulders. And over you go. Take your right hand to the block. Take your left hand to your waist. Bring your head to neutral. Straighten your right leg. And so straightening the right leg doesn't necessarily mean pressing the knee back as far as you can. For those of you who are flexible, you may have the tendency to hyperextend in the front leg. It's very easy to do so with the amount of leverage in Trikonasana. So you'll need to place a micro bend in your knee and then grip your thigh. Everybody grip your thigh. Press even weight on the ball of the big toe, the ball of the little toe, and the inner and outer heel. And with your right hand pressing into that block, draw both shoulders down your back and open your chest to the long edge of your mat. Good. Take your left arm, bring it straight up out of your shoulder, Point your fingertips straight up and then pull from your left wrist, come all the way up. Take the block with you, turn your right toes in and your left toes out. Take the block to the left side of your mat on the high setting. Arms remain in the air. And then over you go. Take your left hand to the block and take your right hand to your hip. Reestablish your legs. Your feet and your legs are the foundation of stability for this posture. So as I mentioned on the other side, you may need to put a micro bend in your left knee. If you look down and you're straightening as much as you can and your knee is bent, you need to try to straighten a little bit more. And then grip your thigh. And begin to turn your torso so that your chest, both sides of your chest, move to become in line with the front of your mat, facing the direction of the long edge of your mat. Press your left hand into the block and roll your left shoulder down your back away from your ear, creating space and room in your neck. Keep your legs strong. Keep your face soft, and then raise your right arm straight up out of your shoulder. Pull from your right wrist, come all the way up. Turn your left toes in. Bring your hands to your hips and walk your feet together for Tadasana, hands down by your sides. Utthita Parsva Konasana. You'll need a block for this pose. You're going to take the block and take it to the high setting on the right side of your mat. And then step your feet apart 4.5 to 5 feet. With your hands on your hips, turn your left toes in and spin your right leg and foot out. Slowly bend your knee to 90 degrees, extending the inner and outer leg evenly, and bring your right hand to the block and the left hand to your waist. Reach the outer edge of your back foot into the floor as you keep your right knee bent to 90 degrees. And see if you can scoop your right buttocks forward. The tendency is that the right hip wants to go behind you. Extend your right side lower back and scoop your right buttocks forward and under. Don't relax on that right leg, but allow it to stay bent at 90 degrees as you open your chest towards the long edge of the mat. Good. Now reach your left arm down your side body and then slowly windmill your left arm up and over your head so that you create a straight and strong line from your left fingertips all the way down to the outer edge of your left foot. Pull from your left wrist, come all the way up, straighten your right leg. Take the block with you, turn your right toes in and your left toes out. Place the block behind your ankle on the high setting, and then bend your left knee to 90 degrees. Good, and then take your left hand to the high block, right hand comes to your hip. Set the foundation of the pose, the general shape of the pose. And then remember, just like the other side, the left hip is going to want to poke out behind you. So see if you can elongate your left side lower back. And scoop your left buttocks under and forward. Not only will this bring your entire body into the same plane, but it will make your lower back feel better. There won't be so much compression in the low back, especially on the left side. And then with your left hand on the block, press your hand into the block and start to open your chest towards the long edge of your mat. Your head stays at neutral, face neutral. Breath moves evenly through your nose. And then extend your right arm down your side body and windmill your arm up and over your head, creating a straight and strong line from your right fingertips all the way down through the outer edge of your right foot. Good, and then pull from your right wrist, come all the way up, turn your left toes in, bring your hands to your waist and walk your feet together. Join your feet, take your arms down by your sides for Tadasana. Ustrasana. For this variation of Ustrasana, you'll need a bolster. So have the bolster close by. Fold your mat in half for extra padding, and then place it back down on the floor. Come down onto your knees and separate your knees and feet slightly wider than hip distance, and just check behind you and see that your legs and your feet point straight back. Tops of your feet come to the floor, and then you're going to take that bolster and place it on your heels and ankles. Bring your hands to your hips, placing your tips of your thumbs on the tips of your sacrum. Press your hands into your back and lift your chest and lift your chest. Lift your chest as you go back. Reach for that bolster, pointing your fingertips straight back. Take your head back. And as you stay in the pose, don't press your hips as far forward as you can, though that's what the body will want to do. But instead, retract your thighs and pelvis so that your thighs are straight up and down to the ground, but that your chest is on the rise. The more you lift your chest, the less pressure you'll feel in your lower back. The more you lift your chest, the less pressure you'll feel in your neck. Breathe slow, smooth, and even through your nose as you stay in this posture. And then very slowly release your hands, bring them back to your sacrum. Press your shins down to come all the way up, chest first, head last. Sit back on the bolster, rest your palms on your thighs, and sit in a neutral spine, resting here. Allow your lower back to release. Soften your shoulders. Soften your face. And then slowly come forward, take the bolster off. Join your feet together for Tadasana and take your arms down by your sides. Stand tall. Setubandha Sarvangasana. For this pose, you're going to need 2 bolsters and a belt. So you're going to start by taking the bolsters and placing them vertically on your mat in a line so that they make one long bolster. This is going to support your entire body so that you're able to fully let go in this pose. You're going to sit on the middle of the bolsters, take your belt, and make a loop. And then you're going to place both feet one at a time in the belt. And you're just going to loosely belt your ankles. So you're not trying to make this belt tight, but you should have about 2 to 4 inches between your ankle bones. And just make sure that the belt buckle is not touching your skin. And then you're going to lie down so that your entire back, your neck, and even the back of your head is supported on the bolsters. And then you're going to slide your body back on those bolsters so that the skin of your upper body goes over your shoulders and down your back. This will help to hold your chest open. And to keep you in a position where your armpit chest feels free and your upper chest feels really much more open than your normal posture. Sometimes when I do this pose, oftentimes, I'll find I need to push just a little bit more so that my shoulders are firmly on the floor. The back of your head rests gently on the floor. And then because of the nature of the props, your sternum moves towards your chin. There's such an openness of your chest that it allows your chin and sternum to come closer to one another, which creates a squeezing of the front of your neck, which is really good for your thyroid. Be mindful to not press the back of your head. Be mindful to not grip the 2 sides of your throat. Let your legs go, let your feet go. Close your eyes and turn your attention inward. So this is a beautifully supportive, restorative variation of Setu Bandha Sarvangasana, which is a variation of shoulder stand. And whenever we practice shoulder stand or a variation of, we can tune ourselves into the nurturing qualities of these poses. Salamba Sarvangasana is often called the mother pose of yoga because of those nurturing qualities, because you feel held, you feel supported. And when you come out of one of these types of poses, you feel better. So allow the props to hold your body open, to bring a gentle stretch to the abdomen, gentle opening to the rib cage, and a softening of your lower body. Those of you who have back pain when you start to open your chest or do any sort of backward bending motion may find that this variation of Setu Bandha Sarvangasana serves you really nicely. And this is because there's a little bit of space between the legs. We're not hard belting the ankles, but there's a little bit of room for your feet to be organic. And so this will relieve pressure from the low back. But you may still feel a little bit of sensation there. Don't be alarmed. This is normal. We are still opening the chest. And for those of us who have a rounded chest or do a lot of work sitting or driving, anytime we start to open the chest, the pressure gets pushed to the low back or the neck. So just a reminder that in yoga, there is pain that comes along this path to finding freedom in your body. And we have to be willing to turn and face that pain. In our normal lives, we oftentimes will run away from pain or avoid pain, but in yoga, it's a little bit different. Now, very slowly, I want you to take your feet out of the belt so it should be loose enough to allow you to do that easily. Take your feet to either side of the bolster and rest your knees on one another. Make this effortless so that they're falling into one another, so that there's nothing in your legs holding your knees together. Simply rest here for a moment. And then very slowly turn to your right side. Come all the way off that bolster. Turn down to come up. And take a simple cross-legged seat. Place your palms on your thighs and rest. Setubandha Sarvangasana. So for this variation, you're going to need 2 bolsters and a belt and space at the wall. So you're going to start by taking 1 bolster and angling it up the wall. And then you'll take the second bolster and you'll place it vertical, perpendicular to the first bolster. You're going to start really close to the wall. Then I want you to take the belt and make a loop that's as wide as your hips. So you can measure it on your frontal hip bones. And then take the belt to the outsides of your metatarsals, so just below your toes. Place your feet on the horizontal bolster up against the wall and lie down on the vertical bolster, so your entire back is supported, including your neck. Hold the bolster and slowly slide back without lifting your body up until your shoulders come to the floor. The back of your head comes to the floor. And then once your shoulders are firm, lower your feet so your heels touch the floor and the bolster at the same time. And then slowly straighten your legs, holding on to that bolster as you slide your legs straight. Reach down and adjust your outer thighs out. And then take your hands out to the sides, palms face up. Close your eyes and go inside. And allow your toes to be slightly pigeon-toed. So what that means is your toes are closer together than your heels. So kick your heels out to the sides and angle your toes slightly in. This will bring a really nice inner rotation of your legs that spreads space and room across your lower back band. Those of you who are dealing with low back pain or hip pain, this is a perfect variation for you to practice. And its restorative quality allows you to feel nurtured, to feel held, and to go deeper inside. Allow your body to become still. And for some of us, that's very difficult, and in moments we have to demand it to stay still. Bring yourself into the present. As we hold these longer, supported, restorative variations, we find that the mind begins to wander, and we start thinking about what we're going to do when this class is over. Or we might start worrying about the future, or remembering and feeling the past. So if you find yourself in that state of consciousness, in that state of distraction, don't allow yourself to judge. This happens to all of us. But part of the practice is, how can you call yourself back? So notice when the distractions come and simply name them. So if you're thinking about the future, you might name that planning or worrying. And if you're in the past, you might name that remembering. If you're feeling sad, you name it, sad. And then you turn your awareness to your breath, as the breath is the easiest vehicle to the present moment. It injects you directly back into this generous, gracious present moment. Where you can feel more in alignment with your true nature. Because your true nature doesn't live in the past or the future. It lives right now. And you might find after a few moments of being in this present moment that the mind starts to wander again. Observe. Name the emotions or the thoughts. And then once again, call yourself back to the present moment using the breath. This is the art of practice. This is why we practice. Yoga is the calming of the agitations and fluctuations of the mind. So now very slowly, release your feet from that belt. Bend both knees and place your feet on the floor and take them wide so that you can rest your knees on one another. Just be there. Soft, allowing your back to relax. Keeping your face as in Shavasana. Calling yourself back over and over to this present moment. And then very slowly being aware that you're up on that bolster. Roll to your right side. And rest on your side using your right upper arm as a pillow. And then keeping your head heavy, turn down towards the floor to come up. Sit in a simple cross-legged position. Rest your hands on your thighs. and go inside. And now it's time for Shavasana. So take one blanket for your head and don't fold it too high, but just enough to give you support and comfort behind your skull. And then as you lie down, take that blanket so that the bottom of the blanket touches the tops of your shoulders but doesn't go underneath them. And then press your feet into the floor, lift your buttocks and push your upper buttocks towards your heels. Slowly straighten your legs. We oftentimes forget that Shavasana is an asana. It's one of the postures, corpse pose, where we have the opportunity to practice full surrender of the body, of the mind, of the being, of the soul. So in the beginning, we can make our adjustments, moving this way and that, wiggling these fingers and those toes. But once we have our position, it's important to find stillness. When we find stillness, we can feel the frequencies of the body, the waves of energy that run through the fingertips, through the toes, and all throughout our body. So soften the space between your brow. Soften your cheeks, your lips. Relax your lower jaw, both sides of your throat, both sides of the back of your neck that run along your spine. Soften, relax, let go, surrender. Soften your collarbones, your upper chest, your shoulders. Allow your shoulders to relax and to get heavy as you settle in awareness. Soften your belly, your arms. Let your arms get heavy into the floor and soften your belly so much that it only rises and falls with your breath. Relax your legs. Scan your legs and your arms for any point of contact that presses into the floor. Soften. Relax your heels, your feet, your toes, your arches. And allow your body to get heavier and heavier as you stay. The heaviness comes when you surrender. And know that this surrender is when you can receive the practice. Now very slowly bend your left knee and roll to your right side and rest on your side. And then turn down to come up. Find a simple cross-legged seat. Join your palms together in front of your heart. Namaskar. Thank you for this practice today.